I think in 10 years we're looking at a very chaotic media environment that's a lot flatter than it currently is, meaning there will be less big behemoth media organizations that are dominating the conversation in this country, and that's a very good thing. Talking Points Memo is an example of a medium-sized media organization that has gained a central role in the national debate. I think we're going to see more of those in the future and less of the big, huge Time Warner, Disney kind of, models. I think that journalism will be faster, more immediate, more multimedia, and more interactive, which is great in terms of what happens with the consumer, because I think it'll be an exciting experience to consume that kind of journalism. But I think that my big concern is that you lose a lot when you get faster and more immediate. And what you lose is veracity, fairness, and a lot of the kind of perspective and contextualization that I think a lot of people need to make sense of the world these days. My fear is that most political coverage is going to comport itself to what the Politico has become, which is super buzzy, horse race obsessed, very immediate chatter. And unfortunately, that's not the kind of political coverage that we need. What we need is stuff that has a much greater depth and, again, really gets at the root of who has power in this country, what are they doing with it, who's winning and who's losing. Because the Politico has been such a tremendous and explosive success story in the last 2 years, I know that people at other organizations are being told, like the Washington Post and the Associated Press, are being told to be more like Politico. And I think there's a big risk there. That's not to say that Politico does, nothing good, because they do a lot of good stuff, but they also have, are really obsessed with the horse race. My big concern right now about the future of journalism is that we're going to lose the most important part of journalism, which is, in my mind, investigative and enterprising journalism. I think that's the kind of journalism that that makes a difference, that drills away at hard problems and rogue actors. And we know that that's being lost. It's being cut from the big news organizations, from the networks, and it's really kind of a vanishing art. So my sense was, well, how can we save this? And one way to save it is by transferring it from the for-profit sector to the non-profit sector, which is what we're doing with the HuffPost Investigative Fund. We're starting a non-profit organization that will be aligned with the Huffington Post, but independent of it, and that will produce in multimedia and through citizen journalism investigative reporting. That will be published on our own website, and when we publish it, it'll be free for anyone in the world to publish, in addition to Huffington Post. So it's one solution, I think, to keeping this kind of journalism alive. It's not the only solution, but it's one.